It's Wednesday, October 2nd, and this is Drive Check, a Cardfight Vanguard podcast, brought to you by the generosity of our patrons, Wesley Welch, Sheehan, Alan Camacho, and Mewwill.
We will never know. I mean, with Will not being here tonight just because, his internet decided to go bye-bye.
That's true. That's probably going to be me week.
Hey.
Okay.
Remember how last week I recorded with Will? It was because Cole internet was whole garbage.
Yeah. Garbage.
Apparently, out of all the hosts on this program, I'm the only one with a stable internet connection, I would say.
Well, I mean, who's your provider?
Cox.
I have Spectrum, who is Time Warner, who is also the devil.
Oh yeah.
And is
they're
raising the prices on me, and I'm not a fan.
Not a fan, bro. I mean, when you get to this adulting life, what can you say?
Yeah.
I mean,
ridiculous.
That's what it is. Don't grow up, kids. Adulting is hard.
Stay innocent. All right.
You thought that because you started getting a check, you were gonna have money? No, because the check comes in and it goes right out just to pay bills.
Right out, and you don't even get all of your check, by the way.
And taxes are the devil.
Which, I mean, like, taxes are fine if they actually go to somewhere. But anyway. This is Vanguard
Podcast.
And or other card games. Have you played since things?
Yeah, I actually went to a case tourney last Sunday at Guild Gaming.
Ooh.
Started out pretty good. Fizzled out on my last two games. Lost my top 4 sit. I was playing Beast Deities.
Oh.
Very, very consistent deck. I really liked it. Super consistent.
Super good.
Yep. I won against Bermudas, which was like the biggest win for me. Even with the nerf, that deck still hits like a truck. I mean,
exactly.
It's ridiculous. Then I trigger sacked a Blaster Dark deck, a Shadow Paladin deck. I mean,
they deserve that.
It's like, 2 to pass. Well, here's my draw and here's my crit. I win the game.
Yeah.
Hugh.
Now imagine front triggers in God Hand. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Because then, I
just thought about that.
And
because it's not just getting the 10,000 from the power. You get an extra 10 and then
an extra 5.
Oh my god.
And then
insane.
So I won those 2, and then I played the new Murakumo stuff. And Beast Deities don't like their field to be wiped out, and Hyuga, that's literally what Hyuga does.
Yeah.
And
I don't think a lot of clans like their fields being shuffled back into their deck.
Yeah, and
shuffled.
The thing is, it's not only Hyuga, it's the whole Hyuga, and then Shirayuki coming in and guarding and lowering, all your attacks powers. It's ridiculous.
That deck is super good. I think that deck is probably the best in the format right now.
I mean, it's so good.
I would say.
Is so good.
Because it's mass removal for super cheap. You just have to Soul Blast to grade 3, essentially.
Yep. You just need literally 2 Counterblast and a grade 3 in your soul. And you hit numbers, and you hit, you erase the field.
Yeah.
I mean, and then my last game was against Narukami, which I thought was going to be my worst match. But in reality, it really wasn't. I just did not hit triggers on the drive checks that I needed triggers. So
the Narukami is a super strong and consistent deck as well.
Yeah.
But how you beat that is you outrush them.
So that's what I did.
You just have to be careful.
That's what I did. I literally put him a 5 damage coming into my second or third right. And
because
just could
these
not
deities can do that.
Yep. And I just couldn't hit triggers. One thing about Biz deities, Grants or Gans or whatever the great one is, super busted.
Yeah.
Great
that's the whole
poking card. Jesus, is so stupid. Like I literally have him attack like 7 times in a single round. It's like boom.
That's the point of Beast Deities. It's not like Illuminal's great and everything, but Illuminal's good because it works well with Grants.
Because you just really, basically keep pushing until somebody pokes it, and then Illuminal becomes good.
Yep.
But anyway, that's all about me. What happened with you? What you been doing?
I went to the Throne of Eldraine pre-release Saturday.
Magic.
Yeah, I played Magic, and it was super fun. I pulled an Oko, something, whatever his name is, the green and blue commander fairy dude, not commander, planeswalker fairy guy.
Nice.
He makes food tokens and turns everybody into elks, and I played him twice.
That sounds cool. Was it like a sealed?
I sold him. Yeah, sealed. So you get your 3 packs, and then it's not 3, it was 6. Yeah. And you build from that. A 40 card deck.
Yep.
And it was a ton of fun. Like, this set is super flavorful. The art is super nice. It's a good set all around. It's kind of making me want to play Arena a little bit more. So
cool.
That's a thing. Also, that same night, I discovered what Commander Cube is.
Huh.
You know what regular Cube is?
I do not know what Cube is.
Okay, so Cube is basically you are creating your own Magic set with cards throughout all of Magic's history. And essentially, you would draft it. So you would make them into like, I recommend like Cuba-Majigs. If you're not familiar with that, the professor has a video on that.
Oh, nice.
Like these little plastic, essentially reusable booster packs. And so you would like shuffle up the cards and then deal, cool. Like put them up. And then you can reshuffle or redraft with those. And so essentially you have this 1,000 card
box
case of box of cards, and then you're drafting through that, and it's a controlled play environment, but you're essentially making your own sealed environment, which is pretty sweet.
That's pretty awesome.
But so there's a commander twist that I discovered, and let me pull up the notes on my phone because I forgot. But essentially, everyone playing, generally 4 people to a pod, they all pick their commander, which is a legendary creature.
Yep.
And then they will. Each player gets one of the triple color lands from, I think it's like it's the Tarkir block. I don't remember which, or at least I saw them from the Tarkir block. And then they also get one of every basic land. So they are able to, no matter what, they have mana set up.
Okay.
And then there are 6 decks, I think they're 99 or 100 card. I wasn't sure. There's one for every color, and then there's also a colorless. There's 5 colored and then 1 colorless. Colorless could be lands that don't have a color identity. They could be artifacts. They could be colorless creatures, stuff like that.
Nice.
And the colored decks all have, I think they're monocolor, or they might not be monocolor. Just have to have that color in the identity.
Yeah.
So basically, whenever you draw a card, you have the option to draw from whatever, either the colorless or whatever stack is in your commander's color identity.
Nice.
So you go around playing like that.
Oh, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, so you are controlling what's in each of those decks, and it's kind of like a draft whenever you draw from whatnot, and you can change which deck you're pulling from. So if your commander has more of an artifact kind of build, then you'll take more from the colorless, or if you need some removal, maybe
or if you'll
take black.
If you're like me and you play 4 color commanders, then you have pretty much everything.
Exactly, yeah. So for that, I recommend having each of the colored cards being in their separate sleeves. Just makes everything
better,
easier to keep track of. Yeah,
nice.
But it was a super cool thought, and I'm pretty sure there's more information on it on the web, or I can get more information on it if anyone's curious. But
awesome.
I like the idea a lot.
Yeah. So I was at the store and apparently a couple of people just decided to leave their pre-release packs lying on the table.
Ooh.
Don't know why. So yeah, gotta return those.
So,
So I gave them back to the store guy, and in case somebody came back and picked it up. Don't know about that, but please, people, don't leave your pre-release packs in the store, because I returned them, but I'm pretty sure people just throw them in their bags and keep walking.
Yeah, that's true.
So on top of that, did you watch last week's episode?
I did.
Nice.
I did. And my favorite recurring gag is everyone making fun of Shin's full name, because even they all mess it up to call him Lemon or Cinnamon.
Yeah.
And I love it.
I love it when they scream at him stupid Cinnamon. I just like that. It just makes me crack up. And they also showed apparently Nanami's her name, little blonde pigtail girl.
Yeah, the Neonectar lady girl.
Yeah, like her obsession with Asuka, and how she just was like an overachiever. So I don't know, because I never was, but like she was good at everything, and apparently that led her to Vanguard just because she saw Asuka in like a commercial or something. So
yeah,
and that was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Then Shin starts talking about Rive.
Yeah, Rive.
About how Rive kind of just smashes his face every time they play, which makes me wonder. I mean, you've seen the Nova Grappler cards. He's the one that plays the Nova Grapplers, right?
Yes.
So you've seen the Nova Grappler cards, people.
Yeah.
You know what's coming.
About to catch these god hands.
Oh my god, yeah. That god hand is gonna be beautiful.
And then Shin is clueless too. He's fighting for a reason that he doesn't know.
Yeah.
Like, he's very ignorant and doesn't care to learn. Yeah. Which the way that they're portraying Asuka doesn't make her sound like a bad guy, and like no one so far that we've seen is an evil person per se, or really gives off that vibe. Yeah. Which I really like. Yeah. I really like. So I wonder what's gonna happen with them.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that. Anyway, we got some erratas apparently. One was for me because I know I posted a card with the name Power Trooper Thing, and it actually got correctly translated, and it's Power Trooper Shing. So that was my fault. And you can have the other two erratas, I think.
All right. So Hyuga. We were talking about Hyuga earlier. Oh yeah. For part of his board wipe thing, he has to, or it's not the board wipe thing. I think it's on place, or is it counterblast? I don't remember which one.
It's the counterblast that basically lets you pull a card from your deck, give it, and then place it. And when you place it, every unit on the field gets Hyuga's name. Yes.
So in the English card, it just stops there.
Yeah.
But in the Japanese, in the original translation, it says until end of turn, every card gets Hyuga's name.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the logical players would understand that only lasts until the end of the turn. However, there are rule sharks and people who will try to take advantage of it. Yep. So you need to be redundant.
Yeah.
Otherwise, people will take advantage of it. So that's why that was errated.
Yeah, because just like I explained it, it's like, just think about if it doesn't have the end of turn, then every card that was on your field, if for any reason they were not bounced back to your deck, if it doesn't have until the end of turn, those cards are still named Hyuga. And if you need cards that bounce effects out of like having other cards' names, they don't have it.
So the perfect example is Grants, the Beast Deity Grants, because he only restands if you have a Beast Deity Vanguard, a grade 3 Beast Deity Vanguard. And if you got Hyuga, you would have a Hyuga and not a Beast Deity.
Exactly. And what's this about Where Tiger Jaeger that you have here?
What were you guys talking? It was like the end card. I couldn't hear all of it. But you were like talking some mad shade about Where Tiger Jaeger or something.
I was just saying that Where Tiger Jaeger was like, I don't know. It was just a weird gimmick back in G. But the real, but that flavor text was just awesome. I just liked it a lot.
Tiger Jaeger was one of the best cards in G.
Oh yeah,
Dark Regulars.
Oh yeah. That's why I was throwing shade at it.
It was so good. Just like Monochrome.
Oh god,
the cat,
the
Monochrome
of
cat,
Nightmare Land.
Yeah.
Oh, let me do this and soul charge it. Oh, and I call him back and I soul charge, and suddenly you needed 30 cards and you got 30 cards, and then you have 30 cards in hand. So it's like, seriously.
It's so good. It's so good. The only problem is you go through your deck pretty quickly.
Yeah, but at that point you're basically killing your opponent with like Gilderoy or something like that.
No, and then you go into Bledermouse, and then you put everything back in. Yeah, Gastel's pretty. Anyway, I like Dark Regulars. I think I like Dark Regulars more standard and premium than Grand Blue right now.
Well,
I know, sacrilegious.
Yeah, but I mean that is just blasphemy.
There's more to do with Dark Regulars.
Hey, so. I know it. And then just talking about G, let's segue into our old card of the day. Do you want to do it, or you want me to do it?
I'll do the old card.
Nice. All right, go ahead.
Grade 3, Spike Brothers Demon, Abaddon Dragger.
Nice.
The Limit Break 4. When a Spike Brothers rides this card, choose your Vanguard. Until the end of that turn, it gets power up plus 10,000. And then it also has red text. When one of your Vanguard, when one of your Spike Brother rearguards attacks, that unit gets plus 10,000 until end of that battle. Into that battle, put that unit on the bottom of your deck. And it also has an ability. When it's boosted by a Spike Brother, it gets plus 2,000 to end of turn. End of that battle.
Battle. Yeah.
Yeah, and it also has the most broken ability on the Vanguard or Rearguard circle. Lord.
The most broken one of us. I mean, Break Ride, and on top of that, that Vanguard that wrote it gets the ability of giving it every unit plus 10 and then shuffling into the deck, which is what Spikes did back then. I don't know if they still have that same
yeah, they want to go to the bottom. They don't want to shuffle.
Yeah, they just go down in the bottom of the deck. But now we
still do that in Standard.
Yep. Now we got it on V Series too. Also a grade 3, but this time the original one was power 11k. The new V Series one is a power 13k with a Force Gift. And it has an auto on Vanguard or Rearguard. When it attacks, counterblast 1 and put a Rearguard in the bottom of your deck, and this unit gets power plus 5, critical plus 1 until the end of battle. But it also has that when it's rode upon, you may call it to Rearguard circle and retire your opponent's Rearguard in that column where it was called. So, Forerunner. Forerunner plus retiring, which I feel like is not a bad thing for Spikes, because it's like you have all that force manipulation. So hey, it's Vanguard and Rearguard, so you're given that plus 5. You probably dropped 1 or 2 force markers on him, and it retired the column, so it probably doesn't have enough intercepts. It just keeps on and on and on and on.
This card's really good.
Yeah, it looks very good. I was really high for Spikes when they started announcing them, I gotta say.
Yeah. I mean, like, Spikes looks like the best in that set, I think.
But that's our next set. So I just want to know who's as pumped as I am for Raging Tactics. Because I am. Like, my bugs are coming back. That's all I care about. Bugs are coming back.
I'm not pumped at all.
But that's because you have, like, no clans in that set.
I thought about getting Tachikaze, but then I realized that they're cutting my hours at work, so cutting hours means cutting spending.
Yup. And then, I was debating of, like, doing a case or not, but then, Cole walked me off that ledge.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for saving me, like $500.
Yeah.
But I'm still debating. I really want to get a clan set for bugs, even though I know they are not the ones that are gonna break the secondary market. I know Spikes might break secondary market. I know Tachi's will most definitely break secondary market. But who knows? I mean, it really depends on how many people are playing Tachis. And the thing is, I have both a Tachi deck and a Mega Colony deck, so I really don't know what I'm gonna do there.
I would pick one and do that first, and then later on I would do the other one.
Yeah, I mean, to be very honest with you, it just feels that there's really not that much value in case buying. At least for me, unless you're going for high rarity cards, I feel like there's really not that much value to it.
I honestly just don't buy a case unless you're a distributor or not a distributor, sorry, a vendor, and you're trying to sell those cards. Don't buy a case, because it's ruining prices. Like, My Glorious Justice, all of the VRs in that set are worth less than $10.
Yeah, so that's kind of what's making me. But why really I would not get a case for it, because we saw that with Phantasmal Steed Restoration. I mean, there's like Lukier with the waifu tags is like the only card that really has like value over $20. And in those first sets, there wasn't a VR that wasn't less than $20. Or at least more than $15 per VR. And
yes, exactly. And now not so much the case.
Not so much the case. So
ridiculous.
Anyway,
actually, I want to plug something.
Yep.
Real quick. Solemn Vanguard put out a 45-minute video, just essentially him rambling about Vanguard and things like that. And it's actually a really good listen or watch. I get it's more of a listen. I highly recommend if anyone wants to listen to that, because it's very insightful. And he's also a vendor and kind of talks about kind of the struggle of being a vendor in Europe as well.
Okay.
So it's pretty interesting.
Nice. I might have to give that a listen to then.
Yeah, it reminded me a lot of our conversation before. So
nice.
Good watch.
So Bushi officially revealed Ergodia and Thermometry Angel, even though they were leaked a while ago. But but we know that it's just because our community is smarter than Bushi sometimes. But it doesn't matter. I hope they get smarter about it.
I think they learned a pretty big lesson.
PDF your stuff, people, please.
Well, I mean, it depends, because like, if it was a PDF, you can still take it apart.
True. Well, then,
in Illustrator,
layer your pictures.
Rasterize your pictures.
Man. Yeah,
flatten that stuff. So thermometry Angel was it was revealed in a magazine.
Yeah, I saw that.
So guess they thought that they'll show all that. I don't know. Like, Angel so far looks like the weakest of the set.
I mean,
which is looking really sad.
It's kind of sad, but I don't know. I mean, opponent damage manipulation, I think it's what they were going for. But I don't think they gave a really, really strong card for it. Like, you're not getting cards that are supremely plussing from the fact that you're putting a damage card into your opponent's zone or something to that extent. You know what I mean? It's like, you're basically giving them a counter charge for 5,000 powered, or an extra crit. So I haven't seen a card. If it would have been something like the hospital thing, where it's like, when a card is put into your opponent's damage zone, you get +20 or crit and guard restrict. That would have made it a lot better. I don't know. That's how I feel. I feel like they didn't get like a lot.
So they still have Angel Feather still has one RRR left.
Yeah, they do.
And they may or may not have another RR. So
hey, it might change.
Hope it might change, or it could just be a common, or a rare that totally breaks it. I don't know. But most of this set is already out, so we're getting pretty close to
closing out on it. Yeah.
Yep.
So did you see that Bushi showed the schedule for releasing for the next 6 months?
I did, very briefly.
Very briefly. So you want to go over it?
In English. Well, it's English and Japanese. I'll take November, and then we'll just alternate.
Yep. Go ahead.
So November has the Genesis Trial deck featuring Valkyrian and Uranus.
Yep.
It also has Infideity Booster, which is Angel, Nova, Nuba, and Genesis, which we were already talking about.
And then in December, we get the Mysterious Fortune Extra Booster with the Neo Nectar, Great Nature, and the Gold Paladins. So we'll be seeing more plants pop up in Premium.
Oh, yeah. January is Crystal Melody, which is the Bermuda Triangle Extra Booster.
Yep.
So that look forward to more Fish Ladies. Although it was important that this set comes out after Worlds, right?
Yeah. So that's fairly important. So it doesn't mean that Bermuda's gonna come in even with the nerf and smack you even harder with their fishtails.
Oh, they probably still will. I mean, they'll probably still be there.
Oh yeah, most definitely it will still be there. I mean, the deck is still super good.
All right, and I'll just take February. Nothing is in February. Save your money, kids.
Yeah.
As of right now,
Start saving.
there's nothing in February.
Yeah. Save your money. And then in March,
You gotta save your money for the next set.
I know, which comes out in March, which is another extra booster for Shadows, Narukami, and Aquaforce. So we'll see how that turns out. And for my fellow Gear Chronicles players who were looking for some sort of make my clan better stuff, you don't get anything until April. Which there is another extra booster with gears and 2 clans that were unannounced at this moment.
Like Neo Nectar and Royal Paladins, perhaps.
Why are you bringing? I mean, we don't need more copies. Oh God, Blaster Blades. We don't need more Blaster Blades.
No, it wouldn't be Blaster Blade.
I hope it's
It would
Jewel
be
Knights.
I hope it's Alt Might.
Alt Might,
Alt Might.
Alt Might, or Alt Mile.
That one. I can't even say it. It's
My Hero Academia has damaged us.
Oh, actually, yeah. Like I think January, February, the My Hero Academia set for UFS comes out. So,
No, that's
or Universes.
Pretty cool. Yeah, I mean,
Probably buy that in
as long as it's
February.
not another supremely high secret rarity Blaster Blade, it should be okay if it's a Royal. But they really need to like diversify Royal Paladins. I still like that Turbo Soul Saver is still stupid.
Yeah. I pulled a Soul Saver from like an entry pack.
Nice.
I think Soul Saver. Yeah, whatever. So I think I might try and make a kind of like piece together because apparently that deck should be
list.
super cheap.
I have a list if you want to see it. So
maybe. Wait, no, I don't need more cards. Don't need more cards. Don't need another deck I'll never play.
No, I mean I have way too many cards. I was talking about that and how I really can't keep affording spending so much money on games.
I'm currently working on prioritizing and minimizing my collection. So I'm literally going through and I'm taking 4 of every copy except for Grand Blue. Grand Blue I'm gonna keep like
everything
8 to 12. Yeah. And Dark Regular is probably 8 copies.
No.
And then I'm just gonna kind of put the rest in a bulk thing and then put that maybe like see if I can give it away or sell it for bulk prices or something.
I did that a while ago with all my G collection. Because it's like, why do I need to have 30 some copies of like a common grade 2 for Gold Paladin? It's like not even worth it. But anyway, we got seriously like a couple of reveals that came out for cards. So do you want to go ahead and start that?
Absolutely. This is a card I have not read before. Pluto of Deliberation. Grade 2, Genesis Noble. 10k power, 5k shield. Auto on the Vanguard circle at the end of the battle that it attacked a Vanguard. Cost Counterblast 1 and put this unit into your soul. Alright, I'm in for it. And one of your units gets power plus 10,000 until end of turn. Your Vanguard is an Astral Poet. Get an imaginary force or imaginary gift force and put that marker on your Vanguard circle. Alright, cool. I'm down. I like that.
That's not bad. I mean, you're getting that soul that you might need for that Soul Blast, and you're also getting an extra circle. So
exactly, yeah.
I mean, most of what we've seen for Genesis is like, do this plus something, and guess what? You get a gift.
Yeah. I like it. The only problem I have is the counterblast.
It might be a little
That deck is counterblasting a lot right now, and there's only one counter charger. So I don't know how that's gonna work, but I'm liking it so far.
Genesis total in general only has one counter charger.
Yes, as far as I know.
Well, they might throw a common over here with counter charging or something a little bit down the line. I guess.
Suck it, Royal Paladin.
But enough about Genesis. We're gonna talk about Will's favorite clan that he hates and loves at the same time. So we got Aesthetic Visual Camacho. So it's a grade 3 angel with a power 12k and a gift and a skill both Vanguard and Rearguard. When it attacks, if a new card was put into your opponent's damage zone this turn, until the end of the battle, this unit gets power plus 10, and if your soul has a grade 3, discard a card from your hand, and your opponent cannot call sentinels. So this is what I was talking about. It's like triple costed. It's like you need to have a grade 3 in your soul. You need to -1 your hand, which I don't know how much hand Angel Feathers is actually getting, to be able to get that guard restrict. And you're really like a power 10k, not that menacing.
No, it's essentially a Feather Palace light.
Yeah, like a light version of the
I don't know. I thought maybe I'd run it because it's easier to get off more often. That extra 10k. It's essentially just going to be a 20k attacker on the rearguard circle if you have Erigodio.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it might just save you a little bit of soul, I guess.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, it's Angel Feather. At least the old build didn't really care about soul too much.
Yeah.
Just having grade 3s in the soul. So I don't know. Maybe in like a budget version, but
probably.
I think Feather Palace is still probably better.
Yeah, I think so too. Anyway, get the next one because that's your thing.
Oh, heck yeah! Evil Stealth Dragon Zangetsu. Grade 2 noob. Abyss Dragon, 9k power, 5k shield. Auto on the Vanguard / Rearguard circle. Counterblast 1, call an evil decoy token to Rearguard circle. Until end of that turn, all of your tokens get boost and power plus 5k. And then there's reminder text that evil tokens generally have shield and have intercept, but this guy also gives all of your tokens boost as well. So before they couldn't boost when you attack, so they're just 5k sitting in the back. But now, boom, they can boost. Also, yeah.
No, keep going.
Okay. Rearguard circle. When it is attacked, you may change the attack target to one of your tokens on the rearguard circle. If you do, return this unit to your hand.
Boom. That's the skill right there. That's the one you needed to talk about.
I love that skill so much.
That is like, guess what? You're not taking my rearguard from me. Guess what? You're hitting my little trunk with your
shoots you.
And this card is
That's
just
what it is.
Yeah, basically. I mean,
I love it.
I love how Vera in Facebook is like, your tokens are not useful jutsus.
That's great.
That was pretty funny.
The only problem I have with it is that it's on the rearguard circle, and how often are they going to be attacking your rearguard? If not to damage deny you. So
I mean, it might be useful. They may be trying to deny counterblast from you, or they might just be like, this rearguard is pissing me off, I need to get him out of the board. Because if there is another way of that rearguard, like to get a lot of power and like, or just poke, hey.
Oh, there is.
So it is. And then, for a counterblast, if you have 3-4 tokens out for whatever reason, you made a 10k column with 2 tokens. You might be hearing a rearguard with tokens, and they still have their intercept and they still have their 5k shield. So, hey, it doesn't. It'll be okay. It's a pretty good card, I say.
I really like it.
But
right,
the next one, is an even better card. because it's Fever Rocketeer, grade 2, Nova Grappler, Human Hero. Important, that second hero thing. Yeah, that's important.
Yeah.
So we got a Power 9K, Shield 5K, like every other grade 2. It has a continuous on the rear guard circle. During the battle that it attacked a Vanguard, this unit gets power +3. So at least it hits that for that 12K. And then it has an auto skill. When it intercepts for the battle that your Vanguard is attacked, costs Soul Blast 1, and this unit gets shield +10K. Now, a very, very large debate happened on our Discord today about how this card fits into a hero deck. In reality,
Very
you have
easily.
other cards that do get more shield power for, like Hero of Chakram gets +5K for every card in your damage zone. So essentially, it can get up to it can be like a 30K shield. But at sometimes, people will damage deny you. And Warrior of Chakram will only be a 10K or a 15K shield. So it's basically the same cost. I don't know how it's going to fit. But I mean
why not have more guard?
Heroes like guard. And then you have, is it Girly Dolly the one that gives you?
Girly Dolly, yep.
Yeah, so Girly Dolly. And,
gives all your guardians +10.
And then you also have Miss Splendor that gives her that would give Fever Rocketer another 3, making him a 15K. So there's way to making him hit, and so yeah, it's not a bad card when it combos off with the rest of the heroes. So
it's like an upgraded version of Cup Bowler, right?
Well, Cup Bowler gets the +3 no matter where he attacks. That's the main difference. Cup Bowler only requires the Cup Bowler only requires you to have a hero on the field.
Okay, but like, if you're on Spinning Valley,
you can only attack the
players
Vanguard.
can only attack the Vanguard.
Yeah.
So that essentially that's a mute point.
Yeah.
A moot point. Sorry.
A mute point. So the point makes no sound.
Exactly. Okay, I got this one.
Yeah,
I got this
go
one.
ahead.
All right. Cannon Trooper Huskarl.
Butchered that name. Butcher it. Huskarl. Yeah.
Yeah, Huskarl. It's a grade 2 Nova Grappler. Battleroid. 9K power, 5K shield. Auto and Rigor Circle. When you're fighting Fist Dragon, God Hand Dragon, who is not an actual dragon, by the way. But anyway.
How is it not? It
on
has
Rigor
dragon.
Circle.
Wait. Time out. It has dragon twice in the name.
It does.
So it's a real dragon to Will standards, and it's probably just a dragon with like metallic armor, dude.
You know what? You're right. Probably like an Azure Dragon and Illuminal Dragon. Yeah.
There you go.
You're right. Yeah.
But anyway, finish that.
What was I thinking? If you have God Hand Dragon on Vanguard Circle, when it attacks, you would counterblast 1 and draw a card.
Not bad, people. The counterblast is a high cost, and you might not have it because you need to use it for other stuff like kick. But drawing cards is always good, especially on a deck that needs field like Nova does.
Yes.
So it's probably not a bad thing.
Oh, you just have to be careful because there's that one card that stacks up front on the top of your deck.
Yeah.
Make sure that you don't draw that front.
Yeah. True that.
Yeah.
True that.
Yeah.
But now apparently we got some gods that are coming down into the Genesis life with a name like Dionysus of Beautiful Wish. Now
Dionysus, yeah.
Dionysus. All right. So this is, look at me talking about butchering names. So grade 2 Genesis. This one has power 9K and shield 5K. So it's not a 10K like regular Force grade 2s. So it has a skill, auto on the rearguard circle. When it attacks, cost discard a grade 3 or greater from your hand. Until the end of the battle, this unit gets power +5, and when your opponent will call cards from his or her hand to Guardian Circle, he must call 2 or more at the same time. How high of a cost is that discard?
Not high, because normally you wouldn't want to keep rewriting your grade 3s, right?
Yeah.
you don't necessarily. You just need to be on either Uranus or what's his face?
The other
dragon.
Guy. Yeah, the
dude.
dragon. Astrea's dragon.
Because they essentially do the same thing, and you have so many different ways of getting force gifts out.
Yeah.
That it doesn't really matter if you re-ride. Plus, there's no on-ride abilities. So, if you've got enough circles or gifts, then I don't think you need to worry about this card.
You need 5 to get that astral plane. So once you hit that 5, unless you're looking, you will still get circle from your grade 2s and stuff. So in reality, it's like you say, it might not be that great of a cost. What are you running here? Like 8 grade 3s and 4 Valkyrians?
I don't think you're gonna run 4. You're probably gonna run
2 to 3.
3?
Yeah. And then you run 10 grade 3s.
Probably.
Or I would probably even advocate for less grade 3s. Like 4 Uranus, probably 2 or 3 dragons, and then more
I'd probably
slots.
go the other way, but yeah.
More slots for your lower grades, I guess.
I really just is going to depend on what the rest of the cards do. But because there are so many cards that just say, hey, get a gift.
Exactly.
That, I don't know. You might not even need to run that many.
It might be the next Anger Blader. Who knows?
Oh. Yeah, okay, so there's actually 2 more cards real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll just run through them super quick. Stealth Fiend Dododome. That's auto and rear guard check. 1 place. Discard a card from your hand. Draw a card. Then retire a grade 0. This unit gets power plus 10k until end of turn. Ooh,
more tokens.
That's a good card.
More token.
Yeah, get rid of that token.
Yep.
That is a grade 2.
Yeah.
And then Stealth Rogue of Barbarism, Akarano. Rear guard circle, 1 placed. Cost, retire 2 grade 0. Draw a card until end of the turn. This unit can attack a Vanguard from the back row, and it gets power plus 15,000. Oh my goodness.
Boom.
And that is an 8k grade 1.
Wow.
Ooh, those are some sweet looking cards.
And that is a sweet skill, that second one, that Barbarism Macarano. That seems pretty sweet. It's more poking.
I think he's actually the grade 2. Yeah, he's the grade 2. I apologize.
Okay.
And the other one is the grade 1.
Okay. Dude, plus 15 and attacking from the back row is always good.
Makes it a 24k attacker.
Yeah, and I faced Central Arrestor, which I thought was gonna be a bad card, but dude, that poke hurts.
It does.
That poke.
You poke it first, and then you swing with your Vanguard.
Yep. That poke hurts. And I thought it was not, but it's really bothersome. Really bothersome.
I think you can run that, or you can run Fushimi. The only problem is Fushimi, when he gets his ability when it's placed.
Yeah.
I think he gives another card. You can attack from the back row, I think, or something like that. It can attack the back row.
One place he can attack the back row. And
I think you can. Can you give it to another unit?
I'll double check that or can you double check that, and I'll go through the last card, which is Sumanus of Divine Punishment.
Yeah.
So this.
Forgot about that card.
Yep. This is a grade 3 Genesis. Power 13k with a Force Gift. Activated on the Vanguard circle once per turn, Soul Blast 10. You and your opponent return all of the rear guards to their deck and shuffle it and draw up to 3 cards. And you perform the actions before your opponent does. So that means that you're Soul Blasting 10, you're returning all your rear guards, and you're drawing 3 cards before your opponent does.
And you don't play this.
How does that even work?
You don't play this card. That's how that works. At least you don't play it in the Astral Poet build.
Oh, definitely not.
No,
because you're returning Valkyrian to the deck. That makes no sense.
Well, it's that, and then it's also Nick brought it up in our Discord that between Uranus and then whatever that dragon is, yeah, those are the only cards that actually create the astral plane. So by riding on top of them with this card, you get rid of the Astral Plane altogether, which means Valkyrian doesn't actually go to
Your deck.
the deck. He's actually discarded.
Wow. Okay. But would it
worse than that.
Would it work with other Genesis builds?
I've been trying to think. Himiko doesn't want that. Artemis doesn't want that.
Nobody wants to get rid of the fields, but sometimes it might be your ace in the hole when you have Naru deck or an Axel deck, just like a somewhat of an ace in the hole, I guess. If the skill would have been both circles,
it would have been super good. It would have been too good.
It would have been busted.
Yeah. So I understand, but like I don't know if any. Maybe as a one of, but Artemis doesn't really build soul that much. Himiko does, but Himiko wants to soul blast it immediately. So, like, I don't know. And I don't think drawing 3 cards after a soul blast of 10, granted you can reduce that soul blast, but still, I don't think that's worth it.
Like I said, it might just be that small ace in the hole. And making and one thing I noticed playing Beast Deities, making your opponent draw cards or either soul charge them or draw them really can screw up their turn, because most of the time when I did shout on my grade 3 on my turns, I normally did it like twice or 2 or 3 times per turn, and every time at least the defensive trigger will always be either in the soul or in their hand.
Yep. I figured out an actual reason to play this card.
What's up?
If for some reason Tsukiyomi is doing really well at your shop or your locals and whatnot, this shuffles the deck so it ruins the stack.
Yeah, there you go.
Same thing with Hyuga. Hyuga ruins the stack as well.
Yep.
So, but Hyuga's also a lot cheaper and a
lot
card
better.
In general.
Yep, a lot better. Did you find out Fushimi's skill by any chance?
Yeah, Fushimi is on place, choose a unit, and they can attack the back row until end of turn.
They can attack the back row, but not from the back row.
Correct, yeah. Yep.
That was the main difference, and that was something I really liked about Murakumo and G-Era, is like, hey, guess what? I'm poking you from my back row.
Yeah.
That was fun.
I do, like, Central Arrestor is actually really good in that build. You don't care about the other Arrestors.
No.
And I was focused on only caring for Arrestors because that's what it said.
Yeah, no.
And no, I just don't care about the Arrestors, and it's a really good card.
I mean, on that grade 2 turn, that hurts because they drop that Central, then they drop another rear guard in the front row. And, that's 3 pokes on grade 2, and that hurts. That hurts your hand.
Exactly, and you can't really deal with getting rid of that Central Arrestor either.
Nope.
Because it's in the back unless you ever retire.
And then Hyuga gives him power, and he can poke you again from the back row. So it's really, really disturbing.
Yep.
All right.
Anyway.
So we go to our section for question of the week. Looking at last week's question, which was, what draws you to your clan? At least from our website, seems like a lot of people like Gear Chronicle and the whole time manipulation thing. We also got responses for Dinos with Guns. And one of the other good answers that I got is like, I like playing clans that characters in the anime play. That's really not a bad idea. I mean, you've seen how much support Royal Paladin gets just because it's the main character's clan. And I saw that a lot on back in G too. It's like everybody would get support, but not like Murakumo or Mega Colony or anything like that until like the diff writers. You know what I mean? Like my clans were never getting a lot of support, and it was because basically they were not like clans that were part of.
You're not a main character clan, yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, that was super funny. It's like in 3 out of like the 7 comments that we got on a question on our website were like, yeah, Gear Chronicle, and Chronojet. And I'm like, yeah, Chronojet was good, but it was way too expensive for me. So I played Hipster Gear Chronicle, which was Chronofang.
Chronofang is so much cooler.
Yeah, but Chronojet was a lot more consistent and easier to pull off.
I don't care.
Anyway, I saw that you
Chrono Fang has some of the best art.
So I saw you put an email here. Do you want to go over that one?
Oh, yeah. This is from Curtis McNeil, and it's going to kind of tie into our question of the week for this week. He wrote, "Howdy, y'all. Insert cowboy emoji here. Now that Standard has been out for over a year, are there any clans you play now that you wouldn't have played before the format change? Seems like a lot of my friends, including myself, have completely switched things up and swapped clans for various reasons. Thanks for all you do. Still enjoying the program after all these years. Really enjoying the question of the week. Best podcast around."
Thank you, sir. Those are very kind words.
You are the best emailer around.
Yeah.
How about that?
Hey.
Ooh.
Snap. But that really makes a segue to our question for this week. It's like, when Standard came around, and now that it's been over a year, like he mentions, have you switched? I have to say that I did up to a certain point, because just back in G I was maining machinings, and even though machinings are still a thing in V, they're kind of underwhelming on their skills and abilities. So you only have like one good build on it. So I've been playing a lot more of Noble Grapplers and Royal Paladins. So I kind of made that switch. And even though I know that I mostly always talk about Murakumo, and I do have a standard Murakumo deck, I don't play it as much. I somewhat, even though they're like super good and do all this busted stuff, I really like the whole calling from the deck and returning to the deck kind of gimmick. And they don't have that anymore. Nubatama seems more connected to that now. And I think it was because Nubatama stole Magatsu from us. Looking at you, Bucci. You stole Magatsu from us.
Yeah.
Anyway, but did you switch when Standard came around? I mean, I know you mentioned that you've been playing more DIs than Grand Blue, so.
Yeah, so I liked DI back in Standard, especially like not Standard, G era, like the tail end of that with Shaharat and Glen's End, and then Castile.
Yeah.
That era I played, I always liked him before, but I really buckled down for that. I used to play Dimension Police, and I don't play that in Standard because it's not Grand Gallop, and I really like Grand Gallop and how that plays.
So you don't scream Justice anymore?
I don't, and I never really did before. But
how do you not scream Justice? Every time you ride a grade 3, you need to scream Justice has arrived. In an All Might voice.
I am here.
I'm here. Man, My Hero Academia is so redundant.
It's coming back. Anyway, yeah, I don't play Dimension Police right now, also because it's expensive. I played Murakumo in Standard, which I've never played Murakumo before in my life. That was fun for a bit. I played Angel Feather, something I wanted to play in G era, but I couldn't afford it.
Of course not.
Same thing with Neo Nectar, except I'm still playing Neo Nectar. Let's see. What else?
You basically have tried
Nubatama
almost every clan under the sun, but kind of relinquishing your mainly maining Grand Blues.
Grand Blue and DI are my two that and I guess I'm gonna include Nubatama and Beast Deities, or not Beast Deities, Nova Grapplers. Those are kind of like my 4 for this.
Yeah, I kind of I kind of toned down my whole deck buying when the switch from G came. So I right now have 5 decks, and I really want to downsize a little bit. But
I'm the opposite. I have ramped up so hard. It sucks.
Let's see. So right now I have Bucks, Murakumo, Nova Grappler, Royal Paladin, and Tachis. So I got 5.
you want me to go through my
No,
list?
no, let's not, because we'll be recording until tomorrow at 9:00 in the morning. Why don't we?
Yep,
Why don't we go over our closing statements?
Ooh! I got this.
You never get to do this. I know you always get excited for this, so there you go.
Please review our podcast on iTunes. Otherwise, Will be super sad, and sad Will is not a fun Will.
No.
Gotta thank Zach Boydis for our awesome intro and Jeremy Woods for the rockin' outro. We need some new music. By the way, Mr. Boydis, I don't know if he doesn't listen, I know that, but
hey,
we need some new music.
He might. I don't know.
Yeah, who doesn't listen to this? We need to change that. Patreon.com/drivecheck. We've had 2 new patrons within the last month, and thank you very much, you two.
Yeah.
Every little bit helps, because the more that we get help funding the podcast, because podcasts, contrary to popular belief, not cheap.
No,
not cheap at all.
And even with our smallest patron, you get on our banging Discord, so that's always a plus. I mean, that thing is always popping
off.
Yep.
Yeah, great. Also, if you play Dragalia Lost, we have a
Dragalia channel.
What are they called? It's channel. I wanted to say server, but it wasn't server. So I'm super into Dragalia Lost right now. It's really fun.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube stuff. When I get back from vacation next week, I got some plans for some videos and stuff. And so just want to go through kind of like a combo list for Grand Blue and things to look out for if anyone wanted to pick it up and wanted help with it. And our awesome website. I want to say email again. Jesus, I'm tired. Is drivecheck.net. That's where you can respond to question of the week, and that's where Mr. Crutones himself, Alan Camacho, responds to your question or your answers to the questions of the week.
Yeah.
The podcast has a Gmail account, drivecheckpodcast@gmail.com. Send us those emails like Curtis and McNeil did, and we'll read them on air.
Yeah.
Twitter, @drive_check. Will is @washinthesink. I am @Cole_McCune, COLE_MCCUNE, and Alan.
Yeah, and you can reach me at the tallest IT guy. And for any complaints about this podcast, please hit drive_jack. But thank you so much for giving us this time of your life and listening to this week's episode of the Drive Check podcast. The night of the sun shall not waver until the day the future is seized. Nice. Night of Morning Shadow Camarcus. So this is definitely a gold paladin card. Oh, I used to love my golds. I remember this guy. Nice.
10k vanilla.
Yup. 10k 8k is an 8k vanilla grade 1, which was kind of good. Yeah.
I thought it was a 10k.
No, I think this was part of like trial decks and stuff like that.
Yeah. It was the starter deck, and then I think it was in that.
Yeah.
It was G era specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was nice. I love golds. Yeah. I kind of miss playing golds, but I loved golds because of Gurgit until Gurgit comes back.
Gurgit's super cool. I love that card. Oh, that's kind of the reason why I made Dantarian, because Gurgit is like Dantarian is like Gurgit.
Yeah,
so.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
Knights, people, knights.